You know, Shannon, there is awesome opportunity in any market shift out there. So let's talk
Yeah.
about one of those today.
You know, the thing I see the most in people needing to switch housing is a lot of my clients are just outgrowing their homes and they are having a really hard time letting go of those little tiny interest rates.
Well, boy, you really get attached to that, right? It's so hard to give up a 3% or a 3.25% or even less interest rate in order to then go out and look at something that's going to be a 7 or an 8% interest rate. But it really could be one of the best times to sell a property right now versus later in the year. And I think the main reason that we're going to see that is because there's 50,000 people needing to change jobs. There is 7 million births that are happening out there. And that's going to create a really big demand to have to move. And we're going to see people get less attached to those lower rates and back into what's about average.
So right now, there is low inventory and not enough for the buyers that are in the market.
That is really holding prices up right now.
Right, and just imagine what is going to happen when those interest rates drop.
Well, I think if we see interest rates drop back into the 6s or even a little bit below, and their feds are predicted to make up to 3 rate cuts by the end of the year, I think they might do more like 2 or 3. We don't know. They were always doing something odd. But when that happens and rates drop, what's going to happen is, you know, a lot of people are looking at, buyers are going to come out of the woodwork in order to buy inventory, which doesn't exist. But I think what's really going to happen is a lot more people are going to put their houses on the market to sell because it's time to move. They've had those babies, they've had those job changes, they've got to get that home sold. It just doesn't fit their lifestyle anymore. And that's going to create a lot more inventory. That's why we might see prices actually adjust down a little bit towards the end of the year, which would make it a much better time now to get your home sold because you get just maximum dollars for it.
And plus, once you sell your house, you become a buyer. And right now, the competition is not as high as it potentially can be once those interest rates drop, and so many more buyers who've been waiting come into the market.
That's a good point. Kind of
it
going
makes
back
a lot
to
of
where
sense.
there's a lot more competing offers and it's much harder to buy something. So it could be a really great way to time the market right now.
Yes. And while it might be scary too for people to jump in to the market right now, it's the smart time to jump in.
Yeah, and it's easy to be scared off by like, I want to wait for interest rates to lower, I want to wait for interest rates to come down, I want to wait for prices to come down. The problem is you can never really accurately time the market. You know, it's never timing the market, Shannon, it's always time in the market that matters. So if you want to maximize your strategies for selling your home and purchasing afterwards, give us a call, and the Weinland team here will be thrilled to help you through the process.